Hey guys, this is Dan Seifer from MobileBurn.com, and what I have here is the Samsung Galaxy Tab 8.9 tablet. Now, the Galaxy Tab 8.9 was announced way back in April at the CTIA conference alongside the larger version, the Galaxy Tab 10.1, but it has yet to come to the market. It's coming to the market soon in about a week or so, even though the Galaxy Tab 10.1 has been available for a couple months already. Now, if you were to assume that this is just the exact same thing as the Galaxy Tab 10.1 but 1.2 inches smaller, then you would be 100% correct. You're going to have the exact same experience as far as Android 3.1 Honeycomb goes. You got Samsung's TouchWiz user interface preloaded on it as well, and virtually the same hardware inside, both inside and outside of the device. But let's take a quick tour of the tablet itself here. We've got a 1280 by 800 pixel WXGA screen, which is the same resolution as the Galaxy Tab 10.1. Above it, we've got a 2 megapixel front-facing camera, which again is exactly the same as we've seen before. And not much else. As we know with Android Honeycomb, doesn't matter what position you rotate the tablet in, the interface will adapt, so there's no physical buttons or gesture areas on the bezel here. Now, as with the Galaxy Tab 10.1, the 8.9 is extremely thin. It measures only 8.6 millimeters thin, so it's maybe a tick or two thinner than the 10.1, and just slightly thinner than the iPad 2 from Apple. The one big difference between the 8.9 and the 10.1 is the weight in your hands. The 8.9 weighs only 447 grams, while the 10.1 weighs about 564 grams, which is also just a tad bit lighter than the iPad 2. So this one's considerably lighter in your hands, makes it a little bit easier to hold one-handed, also with the smaller display size. Looking at the edges, there isn't too much on the sides of the tablet itself, as you can see. The bottom, we've got stereo speakers here, and then Samsung's proprietary dock connector port. Up top, we've got a microphone, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, volume keys, and a power sleep unlock key. If we take a look at the back of the device, it's got a metallic gray finish, but it feels like it's plastic. It's not actually metal itself. And front and center, we've got a 3 megapixel autofocus camera with a flash, and that can record 720p video. So that's pretty much it as far as the hardware itself goes. Inside, you've got the same dual-core 1 gigahertz processor and 1 gigabyte of RAM. This particular model has 16 gigabytes of storage inside, but you can also opt for a 32 gigabyte model. And here you can see we've got the same exact Android 3.1 interface and Samsung TouchWiz UX on top of that. So we've got some Samsung widgets here. We've got the Samsung Quick Apps at the bottom here that we saw debut on the 10.1, so you can quickly and easily open up certain mini apps, as they like to call them. Samsung has included some applications in addition to the standard set. So you've got your Amazon Kindle app pre-installed, Amazon MP3 is pre-installed. There's some Samsung All-Share apps here. You got Movie Phone and Movie Studio are both pre-installed. Samsung's Music Hub and Music Player. Polaris Office and the Pulse Media Reader are there. Samsung App Store is accessible as well. And then you've got the Social Hub. Words with Friends is available for you. So similar to what we've seen on other Samsung Galaxy devices as far as pre-installed apps go. If we just take a quick look at some of the widgets that Samsung is offering, we've got a weather widget here, a news widget, a picture gallery widget. Over here we've got a scrollable email widget, some bookmarks so you can add bookmarks for quick access to websites. Then you've got your Social Hub widget, which allows you to link in your Facebook and Twitter feeds there so you can see that. You've got a calendar widget, a little stock widget there, and some quick access widgets for favorite contacts. You got 5 home screens like we're used to seeing with Android Honeycomb, and you can of course add more widgets to the layout there. Taking a quick look at the browser, we've got your typical Android 3.1 Honeycomb browser. Pretty fast as we've experienced before, as long as it doesn't crash on us. Samsung has implemented its two-finger tilt zooming feature that we saw on the Galaxy S2 smartphone, so you can use that here if you like, as well as, of course, pinch to zoom. Over here we can play some embedded flash video. Let's see if that'll load up for us. Now, as we saw before, the messaging application is skinned slightly differently for the 18. Supports Flash right there in the browser. And of course you can run multiple tabs and switch between them easily. Now, as you can see, as I'm navigating here and as I'm doing various actions and stuff, it's not entirely the smoothest. Like most Android Honeycomb tablets that we've seen before with the same processor, same RAM, can be a little bit sluggish and not quite as smooth as we'd like to see compared to other tablets on the market. If we take a look at Samsung's email client here, so we've got a two-pane email client like we saw on the Galaxy Tab 10.1. You've got support for formatted text, color, and such. Pinch to zoom works. The tilt zooming feature doesn't work in the email client, but you do have the pinch to zoom. And you can scroll through your messages and manage them multiple messages at a time, as you can see. And if you happen to have more than one inbox attached to it, you can view all of them in one view there. Of course, it also includes Google's Gmail client, which as well offers a two-pane view like we've seen before. So you can have your list of messages and then your message on the right-hand side. And it should work in portrait mode there, but you lose the left-hand column. If we take a quick look at the camera interface on the Galaxy Tab 8.9, as we mentioned earlier, it's got a 3-megapixel autofocus camera on the back. So you can tap the screen to focus the lens and then hit the shutter button on the right-hand side to capture your image. You've got various settings here, so you can control the flash settings. You can switch between the rear 3-megapixel camera and the front 2-megapixel camera, as you can see. You can change your shooting mode, timer, exposure, and then you've got a list of other settings that you can control here. Very similar to what we've seen on other Samsung Galaxy branded devices. Down here you've got your gallery view, so you can review your image after you've taken it. Pinch to zoom on it like so. And if we switch over to the video mode, it can record in 720p resolution. So you can just focus the lens like so. Hit the red button to start recording. And then hit the red button to stop recording, of course. If we go to our Galaxy view, we can review the video after it's shot. So there you have it. So that's a quick look at the Samsung Galaxy Tab 8.9 Android Honeycomb tablet. Just as a quick recap, you've got virtually the same exact hardware as we saw in the Galaxy Tab 10.1, save for a slightly smaller screen. So it's 1280 by 800 pixel resolution, razor thin 8.6 millimeter frame, weighs about 447 grams or so it's fairly lightweight. The lightweight and the smaller size do make it a little bit easier to hold one-handed, especially if you are in portrait mode when compared with the 10.1. You can opt for this in 16 gigabyte or 32 gigabyte capacities, and it's powered by a dual-core 1 gigahertz processor with 1 gigabyte of RAM. You can pre-order this from Samsung now, but it will be hitting shelves on October 2nd. The 16 gigabyte model will cost about $469, and the 32 gigabyte model will be about $569. So there you have it, Samsung Galaxy Tab 8.9. This is Dan Seifert from MobileBurn.com. Thanks, guys.